Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am back, and unfortunately, I won't be very long in being back tonight. Instead of your usual video, you guys are going to get a story of, I guess, a noob's guide to Linux or Adventures in Tech or something like that. Um, no actual demos today. However, I do have a story for you guys. So, you guys know, last night I said I am not going to be uploading due to technical issues. I did, in fact, get that done for the most part. Um, However, I do have to say it did not go as well today as I wanted it to go. So, last night I managed to get a weird text thing done and over with a reboot. I can't remember exactly what the text thing did. Uh, I can tell you it wasn't very nice. It wasn't very good. Um, so, I got that done, turned in for the night, and I was going to go ahead and finish up today because I had gotten. Let me tell you what I finished doing. I managed to get the NAS up and running and registered enough that it was not I was able to actually get it to register through the command prompt, and I was able to register it in such a way that I was able to move it reliably from the main computer to the NAS. I tested it with some audio and some video. I burned a DVD. I did just about everything you can manage to do with the NAS that I was wanting to get done, and I was very pleased. I was very happy. So today I was going to put on the finishing touches of it, um, which was getting Plex up and running so that I could basically use Plex as my music player on the go. Everything was there, everything was ready, and I had gotten thing after thing after thing done. Some of these were simple fixes, others were more technical, and at the last minute, the last thing, everything fell apart. Thankfully, we've narrowed it down to reception issues, and so all that I will have to do will be either an Ethernet cable, or there's one other fix that I'm really not looking forward to. I'll do whatever it takes because I'm going to be honest, this might actually help my internet reception if it is the second thing. On the whole, I might actually be able to stream and do more things. Um, so we'll think about it. We'll study on it and figure out what needs to be done. But I wanted to give some announcements basically and tell you what I've been up to. I'm looking forward to the day because I have the perfect track to actually make the announcement that everything is done, and mostly everything is done. it's just a matter of making things stable, and thankfully things are able to be accessed through certain means. In fact, well, that's jumpy. That's really jumpy. That's not good. Let me do. That's not what I want. Okay, well, that's an interesting thing. I will have to look into that and figure out what's going on there. My folders are actually shaking in the dialogue box. Oh my, this is great fun. I wish I could show you guys. Actually, I can. Banner image. Come on. Oh, the banner image thing isn't even working. Huh, interesting. What's going on here? What's going on here? This is not working too well. Let me try to remove that. Yes. Now let me try to put that back. Oh, display capture's different. Oh, that could be part of the reason why. That could be part of the reason why my screen's jumping like crazy. Display capture. Okay. I think I will crop the top. Okay. We'll have to figure that out as we go. Because the display capture's not working proper. That's gonna be great. Because that's how I capture my games. You know what? Let's see if it'll... In the moment of truth, tech issues, my friends, tech issues. I'm not actually going to play anything. This is a test to see if I can get anything to work. If I can't, we're going to have issues. Like, the channel's going to have issues because I don't like... You know, you see, here's my deal. Here's my policy. I try to live my life by one very simple policy, very simple rule. It's called the KISS method. Ladies and gentlemen, perhaps you've heard of it. You say it with me. You say it with me now. Say it with me good. It's quite simple. It's called keep it simple, stupid. Yeah? That's how I'm gonna cancel. It's not media, it's not an image, not a coder. Let's try window capture. Okay. Really? You're gonna make me crop things? There we go. That's at least something. You know what? Let me see, what was that trick that my good friend Cat Prince Gaming taught me? Yes, you're getting a shout out, my friend. Because when somebody tells you something, screen maybe? No. position. No. Transform, that was it. Fit to screen. Okay. Um. Well, the actually, I think not bad. That'll do. That'll do. See, you guys get to see a little bit behind the scenes today. Um. So, without further ado, I'm gonna call this done an episode. Basically, my things have kind of been altered. I'm trying to work with the system that I have now, that I'm working with, that I'm gonna make do with, because, well, screw you Windows. That's why. Screw you Windows. Um, that's. I'm sick and tired of them taking the human element out of things and dissing local storage and all kinds of things. So, Windows is going out the window, and I'm trying my best to fumble along as I can. So, this will be a noob's guide to Linux, and I'm just going to call it Dealing with Changes in Infrastructure Mess, I guess. You'll be seeing a lot more of these videos of me just kind of fumbling with Linux and being altogether bad at it, but you'll also get to see me grow, and you'll also get to see me be a better tech person because of it. And hopefully you guys will learn a lot from this. There will still be gaming on this channel as soon as I get the main thing up and running, but I'm also going to learn as much about Linux as I can and use as much as I can to help you guys learn, and maybe I'll inspire you guys to switch over. I don't know. I don't think so, but we'll see. I do believe that Linux is kind of where computing is going, or at the very least temporarily until somebody else comes along and makes a better system. Because I think both Windows and Mac people are tired of the big boys that keep removing options from people, and I think that this is something that a lot of people are doing. Like, you can look this up. France, the entire government of France is switching from Windows to Linux, and there are companies that are doing the same in their basic computing practices. So I feel like that is the way of the future. That's the way it's going until somebody comes up with something different and new. I feel like, and let me explain what I mean. I don't think Linux is going to be a good long-term solution for anybody that's new to computing. Um, People that are new to computing need ways to be new at computing. We can't jump into, and I say we because I am among these people. I'm learning this because I have to in order to be independent and have a local storage drive and actually have a system that doesn't cost a fortune anymore. Nowadays, everything costs extra money because it's all stored on the cloud and it's all fancy. People don't want that. there's a lot of people that don't want that. Uh, don't get me wrong, the cloud is convenient for backup storage, but give me a NAS with like several 12 terabyte hard drives and um, a whole room full of solid state drives and all of that just for my technology, and let that be where my main stuff lies. That to me is because I can access it, me. I can take that data and remove it from the drive, and I can take that drive if I really don't want it anymore and just drill a hole through it and it doesn't exist. If you have a bunch of stuff stored on your cloud, then your stuff exists forever on somebody else's computer, on somebody else's server, and that's not conducive to a healthy tech life. And I really don't like the fact that somebody else has access to my property. It's my property. These are my stories that I write. These are my games that I play. Uh, don't get me wrong, some of these things they can come in seriously handy. Um, anyway, so here's the deal. Here's where I'm going to call it a night. And tomorrow, what we're going to do is I'm actually going to try a couple of things to get the system fully up and running. And it will be fully up and running one way or another. But I'm going to try some things that will hopefully get it up and running sooner. I have one more trick up my sleeve that will help, and it might help the place that I'm living as a whole. But it will take some finagling. So until then, I'm gonna call this episode of a noob's guide to Linux done and finished and over with, and I'm going to say goodbye to you all, and like, share, subscribe, and have a good one.